Oh my gosh, hi. So, I wanted to get on here and just share some gratitude, share some peace, share some things that I've been reflecting on, understanding about myself, understanding about my growth, and just understanding about myself overall. And so I look back, I reflect on not just, the past couple of years, but my entire life in a sense. And I've been just really just reflecting on how proud I am and how grateful I am. Because for me, my experiences, I tend to like to beat myself up. I tend to be this perfectionist. I tend to, focus on all these things on how I can better myself, how can I up level, how can I, just be more present, and so many other things. And I've really been working on just being more grateful at where I'm at today, where I'm at now presently, and just be grateful enough just for who I am today. Instead of like, okay, what can I do next? Instead of, well, how can I continue to be better? How can I, focus on my health more? How can I critique this? And instead of doing those things, I still do those things, but not focus on it so much to where I'm not focusing on the part that, hey, like live right here, live right now, and just be grateful for today. Because I know for me, like I can maneuver through the past, present, and future kind of thing, if you get my gif. And so sometimes I notice myself not being as present, more focused on more of the future or more of the past. And in a sense, that's a good thing. And that's another thing, focusing on what's good and bad, certain terminologies, certain words. Because for me, it's like I can look at the bad stuff and consider it good, because I believe everything happens for a reason, even if it's not like the greatest thing in the world kind of thing. It happened for a reason to help me get to where I'm at today. And so due to this full moon, and not just the full moon, because that's another thing. I've been reflecting on the past, because it's like I didn't understand the full moon cycles, the moon cycles, astrology, numerology. I didn't understand a lot of that. I just started dabbing into that last year, 2022. And that's one thing I'm very, very grateful for, because it's helped me understand myself so much more. And also just confirm that a lot of these traits and energies are what I've always had. It's not something new. It's just a new terminology, new words, new expressions, new way of, understanding yourself and standing confident within that. And also reflecting on maybe the not so positive traits and turning them into a more positive trait. And stuff like that. And it's just been such a beautiful process to reflect on and really understand, through the experiences I've been through, and just owning this truth, owning this power. And I think that's really the big message for me, for what I've realized, is we all have our own truth. We all have our own understanding of life and how we perceive it. You don't have to be into astrology or numerology or even spirituality to be a strong person, to be resilient, to make an impact in the world. And I think that's a big thing that I've realized within myself. Because there's been times where I'm like so strongly passionate about something, and I believe somebody else needs to hear about it or needs to be connected to it, when in reality they aren't for it. they're still good no matter what, but they don't need this. They don't need that in their life or need to understand it, kind of thing. And I noticed that with a lot of things in the world today, a lot of perspectives. Like, yes, I believe astrology, numerology, spirituality, even religion, even politics have helped me understand myself a little bit more, and what I'm against and what I'm for, and just how I want to live my life, right? And sometimes I've gotten so caught up into another person's perception of a certain topic or a certain thing, thinking that I had to live that way, or I had to adopt that to make it work for me. But I didn't have to do that. I had to, what I really should do, and I don't even like using the word should, because everything is an experience, everything happens, for a reason, for us to just grow and understand and reflect on, why we got into that, why we did what we did, and how it can help us, step into something that helps us more, help us stand in our truth more and work for us, right? And so for me, I've been reflecting and understanding that for myself. Understanding that not everybody is about spirituality. There's people that are into religion and it works for them. And, there's some people that are into all these other things. And I may not be into it. And that's cool. Maybe they're not for me, kind of thing. Maybe, they're just, supposed to, come into my life for, a second and then move on, kind of thing. And it's interesting because this is the time also, I believe, heavily for me, due to all these transformations and just reflections, to really release and let go of what's not for me anymore. That's people, places, perspectives, beliefs, understandings. Because I can see so many different perspectives. I can understand other people's points of view. But that doesn't mean I have to agree with all that. And so I've come to this point in my life that I've grown a lot. I've grown so much, and I've seen so many things happen for me, to where it's like I can sit here now and just, I don't even have to speak on the fact that I'm grateful. I just know I'm grateful. I feel within my whole self that I've conquered a lot, and I'm proud of it. And it's a beautiful thing, yet it's also like an overwhelming emotional thing, to where it's like I'll sit there and cry, and it's almost like another form of releasing, but also just being so proud of myself, and being humble about it too, and just sharing these thoughts, these insights, these strengths, these abilities that I've never really done before, that I've never really understand, I should say. It's like I've done them, I just didn't understand them from a certain point of view. Like, even before I started this spiritual journey, this spiritual awakening, dabbing into astrology, numerology, all of it, I was always a strong person. I was always resilient. I was always trying to figure myself out, in a sense, but I only had one perspective. I was surrounded by, certain things that were more of a distraction, and it was always there. I just was focused in another direction. And that's the beauty, I think, of life, is there's resources and things always there for us, depending on the resource. It depends on how we're looking at life and expanding our mind and really opening ourselves up to the universe to receive these things. And that's where I know I've grown a lot with my mindset, is the fact that, I was really limiting myself for so long, having this belief system about myself and about others. I always thought I had to always go to somebody else and get advice. I'm not saying going to somebody else to get advice is a bad thing, but sometimes there's certain people in our lives that don't understand where we're coming from. And even though they may be giving us advice from a place of love, they are still giving us not the greatest advice. And for me, I had to learn this. And I say I had to learn this because it's like sometimes we go through things over and over again for us to realize, okay, we need to learn something from this. We need to understand something for us to move forward, to us get to the next level, to overcome things. I look at my healing, right? I look at my physical healing, my emotional healing, my spiritual healing, like my overall healing, all these different aspects, with, relationships. I've always struggled with relationships in a sense, understanding, not just romantic, but friendships as well. And I had to stand firm within myself and take responsibility that I was allowing these toxic relationships in my life. And some of it was because I was taught this toxicity from such a young age. This is all I knew. I didn't really know or understand healthy relationships. Even if I did have, some healthy relationships, they didn't very last because there was times where I would just get distracted with more of this toxic sense, and I didn't understand that. Even going through like the mental health part of it, understanding, certain diagnoses and holding on to certain labels and, all these little things throughout my life and my experiences. Okay, why do I keep struggling with these relationships, with these friendships? Why do I keep attracting toxic men? Why do I keep attracting, females that always just want to be in competition or certain things like that? Or there's this insecurity or jealousy or whatnot. And it's like, I had to reflect not only on myself, but what I was allowing in my energy, what I was allowing in my circle. Because there was times that I always came from love. I always felt that these people were good people. But even then I had to look at these people. Well, maybe they're in a place where they don't understand themselves either. They're broken or they've been through trauma. And, allowing myself to not only forgive them, but forgive myself as well too. Because at the end of the day, it takes two to tango, I believe. Because we allow certain energies, we allow certain people in our life, and we always have a choice. Even if it's not the best choice, we still have a choice. And sometimes making a choice, it takes time. It's a process. It's not going to happen overnight. And we just, we may even go back to the old choice and then realize, okay, this is why I shouldn't go back to the old choice. And so, in my experience, I really went through these phases, these cycles, these experiences to get me to where I'm at today. Okay, who do I really want to allow in my energy now? How do I want to protect my energy? And it's a lot of people don't understand that because they only understand or see what they see, right? And for me, with these experiences and understanding people, but really trying to understand myself and knowing what I know and being confident in it with my choices and the way I live my life, There's some people that will still try and pressure you to be a part of their life, or don't want to let you go, or want to hold on to the past or hold on to your past, even when you're trying to change, trying to make better choices, trying to do things differently, even if you may have told them, and even if you didn't tell them. And that's where I had to learn better communication skills and really just standing up for myself and what I really want to see for myself. And that, connects with the chakra system and just aligning with my truth. And even doing these videos, like these are messages that I'm sharing to hopefully help somebody else, but also help me understand myself as well too. I like to say, like, we may consider ourselves a teacher, but we're also a student along with it. We may be able to help somebody else, be helping others through our journey and through learning and educating ourselves, but we're also learning as well too. And so I believe that's just the beauty of a lot of different things, a lot of life in general, is understanding different perspectives, understanding how we really want to stand up for ourselves, how we want to present ourselves to the world, what our morals are, what our beliefs really are, and connecting with our true selves, our soul, to really just flourish and shine. Because I believe everybody has their own light, has their own way of shining. And depending where you look in today's world, there can be so much competition, there can be so much resentment, and just trying to shine in places where we may not be meant to shine, but we can go over here and shine. And it's just allowing that to flow, allowing us to reflect on, what do we really want? Who do we really want to surround ourselves with? How do we really want to feel? How do we want to live in this present moment? Instead of, focusing on so many other people's lives, even like the people that we don't know. Because they are going through something. They have a perception. They have an understanding of life as well too. And it's like, that's where it's like, yeah, we may have these certain people that inspire us, that we look up to, that we're like, oh wow, okay, let me put this into play. Yet it may not work for us. And that's where we just gotta, keep moving forward, reflect on, okay, well, how can something like this work for us? How can we implement certain things to work for us? Because we're all unique in some way or form. We all have our music that we like, that we listen to. We all have, the foods that we're drawn to, that we love. We all have, certain clothes, styles that we like to wear. Why judge other people for how they look? Why judge other people for what they eat and how they eat? At the end of the day, it's our choice to make a change. It's our choice to be better. It's our choice to live the way we want to live. And it's like, we really don't know a person. We only know a perception of a person. Our perception of a person. And I'm guilty of it, and that's where I've really reflected on the fact that, why am I judging this person? Why do I feel a certain way about this person? And even the fact with going back to the relationships and romantic relationships, being rejected by certain people, you can look at that as a bad thing or a good thing as well. Okay, well, maybe this person rejected because they perceive me in a way that I don't perceive myself. And that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. Because we all have this perception. That just means that that person wasn't meant to be in our life. We weren't meant to have a relationship, whatever it may be. I mean, you got to look at it like this, I feel. Like, if everybody wanted the same type of person, it would be chaos. We already say the world's in chaos now, but it's like having females that like the same guy. You know, you don't want to like the same guy. You don't want to be interested in the same guy. You don't want to compete. You want to find somebody that's just meant for you, even with friendships. You know, well, these are my friends. These are my close friends. These are the people that get me, that understand me. And it's okay to have other people in your circle or in your surrounding or that you associate with. You may not be super close with them, you know, that ride or die kind of relationship, but you have an understanding on a certain topic with them, or you do a certain thing with them. And I think that's the beauty of life. We have choices, we have options, we have so much abundant in this life. We're not limited. That just stems to our mindset, that stems to our belief, that stems to, you know, how we perceive the world. If you feel like you're in a prison, well then that's what it is for you. And so with my experiences and just reflecting on, you know, a lot of the things that held me back, a lot of the people that I surrounded myself with, you know, and just, you know, being in this moment and understanding myself even more every day. It's been a beautiful experience, and it continues to be a beautiful experience, and I'm so grateful for all of it, because it's helped me open my heart to new opportunities, new perspectives, you know, and just learn so much more about the world and other people and myself. Instead of holding on to resentment, instead of holding on to, you know, the pain, instead of holding on to relationships that don't serve us anymore, friendships that don't serve us anymore. It's not that it's a bad thing. It's just like, okay, well, this is what it is. This is what it is. And I'm grateful that you were in my life. I'm grateful for that experience. But now it's like, okay, what can I do differently? What's new? What else do I want to explore and understand and see, right? And it's all a process. You know, letting go of the old, releasing the past, and taking that time to recover. And then, you know, gradually walking into the new, gradually, you know, embracing what is meant for us. And so that's just my message for today, is, you know, just know what is meant for you will be for you. Just continue to work on yourself, continue to believe in something bigger than yourself, continue to, you know, embrace the world with an open mind, an open heart, and just live your life the way you believe you should live it, and even challenge it sometimes, because you'd be surprised what the universe has in store for you. Sending so much love to anyone that watches this video. I appreciate you. I'm grateful that you're here, and I hope you have a beautiful life.